All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are back again. We're going to talk about some of the most important, most relevant, modern graded coins that have sold last week, all courtesy of GreatCollections.com, one of the biggest auction houses that sells coins, currency, and everything else, numismatics, and precious metals under the sun. They have been cranking out some of the biggest coins, bar none, across the industry, across this hobby. And for this last week, the week ending June 9th, 2024, we're going to recap some pretty big pieces. We have returning a few pieces that have hit that five-figure mark that maybe you guys need to know about. Is it going to be a matter of, do I have this coin, or is it something I should keep an eye out for? Absolutely. There's a lot of relevancy here for a few of these pieces. And again, you know, we come across these coins on occasion through our lives and, really not think anything of them. But I'm here to tell you that through kind of like this transition period into the summer months, where we've had some pretty big shows like the Long Beach Expo just wrapped up this past weekend. We have also the Baltimore Whitman show coming up. We have back to back high profile national shows that are on the forefront of every collector, investor, and registry set owner out there today. So I'd say that we're well on our way here for having a really, really productive summertime run. Going all the way to, I would say, Labor Day weekend, that first week of September. Definitely a lot of activity that we need to pay attention to, and especially if you have some of these pieces already graded and you're kind of hemming or hawing about whether or not you should sell them. You might want to consider it while the market is really, really strong right now. So we have our normal run of Lincoln cents. We got some really nasty nickels, double N as well I like to call it. We also have some dimes. The dimes, we cannot ignore those little fingernail sized pieces that we love to hate. And we also have a nice run of Washington quarters this week. We also have a candy half dollar, and believe it or not, we have a trio of Eisenhower dollars that's going to blow your mind. And for the first time in a long time, number one, we are going to talk about a couple Silver Eagles. Again, is it bullion? Is it numismatics? Well, you could have your cake and eat it too, because it's both. And, we have hit 26 total listings to talk about today. This is like on the high end of what we normally do on this show. And we got a lot to talk about. So thank you guys for tuning in. It's going to be an absolute monstrous, holy crap show like you wouldn't believe. And speaking of holy crap, we have something pretty tremendous coming up on our Whatnot stream for June 21st. Save the date. 10,000 follower Gold Rush giveaway event where we will give away some really insane Garrett branded metal detectors. We got gold panning kits. We got the pro pointers, as what you like to call it. We have a lot of great stuff to give away to commemorate the 10,000 follower event. It is not too late to sign up today, so that way you can participate in this event in about a week and a half. All right, so it's not very long away, and again, it's open to everyone that follows my stream. If you're kind of, deciding whether or not you want to join this stream or this platform to possibly one of two things: buy yourself some coins or currency, or to sell on the platform. It is a great platform. It has been taking over my e-commerce in this particular segment of the hobby, and it's beating out eBay by a huge mile. So come check us out. I'll have my referral link down below in the description box. And then come see this particular show, bookmark it, and get ready for the storm. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Cannot wait to give back to the community that helped me get to 10,000 followers on the platform Whatnot. So hope to see you there. But let's go ahead and dive right into some of these major, just awesome coins that we have to talk about. One that is no stranger to the Monday Market Report, the 1990 proof Lincoln Cent. This one is proof. Okay, I just want to let you guys know that. And it's supposed to have an S Mint mark. All the regular ones do. Now, there was something that happened at the Mint where the S was inadvertently left off of the master dies for whatever reason. So they did strike a number of these and they were sent out in those 1990 proof sets. So, number one, look through your 1990 proof sets if you got them. They were very common. And make sure you have one that possibly looks like this, that has no visible S Mint mark. This is the rarity. So this is a Proof 69 Red Ultra Cameo graded by NGC, and we're going to kick things off here with a $3,768.75 sale for today. My goodness, what a coin. Next one that we have here is Pure Registry Set Gold. It's a 1975 Lincoln Memorial Cent. These things were minted up to the moon. There are so many of these, but I will guarantee you there's so few of them that will grade anything higher than a 66. Yet we have one here, which is, by the way, a not top graded example in the 67 plus full red. It's still a necessity for some of those higher end Lincoln Cent registries. This particular one is a Pop 5 by PCGS in a 67 plus. There are 4 finer, all 68s. And this one kind of represents that safety net. If you can't hit the 68 and you're trying to grade these for yourself, at least get the 67 plus, because this one sold for $1,013.62. That's not bad for a coin that is not the top grade. Next one that we have here, 1957 Philly. Okay, the Philadelphia 1950s, always a bane for collectors and registry set people. They are quite tough. The overall quality across all of the dates of this decade are quite suspect. This particular one, NGC graded as a 67 plus full red. Again, registry set participants, whether they're doing it through PCGS, NGC, and now CAC-G grading, they could cross over these particular coins. Like an NGC graded coin can show up in a PCGS registry. So there's a lot of flexibility here. There's a lot of crossover, and that's why there's going to be a lot of relevancy for these coins out in the marketplace. Like, for example, this is a Pop 6 for PCGS in a 67 plus full red. And I can imagine that number is a little bit higher for NGC, but even still, this coin ended up selling for $2,531.25. It's going to be the major target. It's the highest grade that we know of a 57 for both NGC and PCGS. All right, so, and one among the first couple monsters that we're going to talk about today, this thing is just an absolute just rocket ship. 1943D. Okay, this is our favorite one-shot composition, known as zinc-coated steel. Right? The Mint employees, they were beginning to strike these things in steel because guess what? They were rationing copper for the war effort during that time. So they only made them for 1 year, which kind of made them a collectible many years later. At the time, they really could care less about these. They didn't like the way that they just kind of began to oxidize and rust. These coins had a lot of problems back in the day. And that's kind of like the primary reason why you see a lot of these replated many years later. This particular one right here is in a mid-state 68 plus cat green sticker by PCGS. Again, this is one that you don't see probably maybe once or twice a year, but this also lends just how well struck these coins are. This particular example hammered for $16,324.88. Here's also a 1932D, incredibly tough date. Man, it's too bad this is an NGC plastic, because if it were either in a PCGS or CAC-G graded plastic, this thing would sell for so much more. It's a top flight grade. All right, and then coming up next, the last few Lincoln Cents for the week. 1926S. You know, this has been long a sleeper for years. It is considered by many to be one of the semi key dates of the series, but, you know, let's not forget. Most of the coins during the 1920s that bear a Denver or San Francisco mint mark are just incredibly tough in their own right. Again, we're speaking about a decade where quality, just kind of fell off the wayside. And because of that, just really nice examples. You know, they're few and far between in today's collector space. So this particular one doesn't look really spectacular, but you know, if you do your research, you'll know that there's not too many of these in mint state. Now, this one is a 64 red brown. Okay, again, it's on its oxidation journey. It's got a few carbon spots in certain areas, but it's not going to detract from a diehard Lincoln Cent collector from obtaining one. Consider this one more along the lines of, you know, for a collector, a bargain basement type of coin. But the price tag doesn't just indicate that. This one ended up selling for $2,137.50. And of course, one of the standard bearers of the Lincoln Cent series in itself is going to be the 1922 D plain, no D, due to fill dyes and things like that, and dye deterioration and all the great stuff. And this one has what they call the strong reverse strike on the reverse. Okay, these were minted with 4 different reverse dyes, and that's kind of how they're classified. So if you have one that looks like this, where you know the obverse strike is generally very well mushy, anyways, but that reverse looks pretty strong, where you have fully defined lines in the wheat stalks. This is the one to have right here. Now, if you're a completionist like most people are, this one is going to end up being one of your most expensive coins, save for the 1909 SVDB. So this one in an XF40 brown is what I consider to be a market acceptable grade. Now, I have seen prettier 40 brown level grade coins of the state. It's going to be kind of like a take it or leave it kind of proposition when you do come across one. $1,710 for this seems like a lot of money, considering that, you know, if you were going to do a comparison with other coins in the marketplace, there are a lot of other kind of like coins that me personally I would attempt to buy, like a $10 gold eagle that grades really high, and maybe like a 64 65 grade seems like a better deal than this one right here. But again, this is one of the keys to the series, so you're going to pay what the market commands. All right, so now we're on the nickels. Here's where kind of things kind of get interesting. This one right here, we got to start off somewhere. 1959 Jefferson nickel. It's a Proust 68 deep cameo. Quite frankly, maybe the photos aren't that great, but this is possibly the weakest deep cameo that I've seen. You know, and it happens. You know, one of these escapes the market in a certain way that maybe probably, you know, is very questionable as to, you know, its designation. This is one of them here. You can make the argument that it could be in a cameo holder and not deep cameo, and it would kind of fit the profile a lot more for this one. But in any event, it did sell $1,170 for this one. Now here we go. This is the holy shit coin of the year so far, in terms of business strike level coins. We've seen a few deep cameo tougher dates, 1950, 52, things like that, that deserve kind of like that award. But the 54S, ladies and gentlemen, with full steps, bar none, is the coin that you want to try and find. And good luck with that. The percentage of these coins that exist out there that look like this is a very microscopic amount. Okay, it's a very small amount. If say there were 15 million of these produced, consider that maybe less than 100 exist with a strike that you could truly call full steps. So this one right here, 67 full steps. That grade is an insane level. It's got some of this like original, what could be album toning on there. But this one, again, not the highest grade I've seen, but The safety net floor on this one is got all of the relevancy that you could possibly want from this at $10,068.75. Seems like a lot of money for, a coin that I'm sure a lot of us have touched at one point or another. Maybe not at this grade level, but again, it's far from the rarest as far as what we could obtain for like an album. But again, the full steps, the quality of the 1950s for Jefferson Nichols must not be under whatever. We must not ignore how tough this decade is. 1941S. Okay, this is a better date for quality. You can see the luster is a lot more evident on this one compared to anything from the 50s. PCGS Mid-State 67 with full steps. They did note a little bit of toning. I just don't see a lot of it that's worth mentioning to me. This one sold for $1,631.25. And based off of that price tag, there are more of these graded with full steps than the previous coin. Okay, the Buffalo Nickels, very impressive too. 1938 D over S. Okay, this is a very fun variety to find. Not particularly hard either. Across all grades, I found a myriad of them, from VF all the way up to just gem brilliant mid-state coins. And they are a lot of fun. This one right here, mid-state 67 plus, is the grade by NGC, and $1,296. Again, not the highest grade. This is more of the safety net level. The coin has to be clean, devoid of any contact marks, which this one certainly fits the bill. 1924, we're a little bit tougher here. Nice gold tone on the reverse, and just little hints of it on the obverse there. So this one right here, PCGS did grade as a 66 plus. CAC agreed. They put their stamp of approval with that green sticker on there. And, the Philadelphia 1920s coins, still quite difficult. All right. Don't let the fact that this is a Philadelphia struck coin fool you. $7,368.75. Someone's going to take home this beauty. 1915S, again, another coin, very original with lots of tone. Whether you love it or hate it, we live in a world of numismatics where premiums are justified for this type of look. So NGC graded this one as a 64. Again, the numerical grade is not splashy at all. This the overall eye appeal of the coin. Again, you see that green CAC sticker right on there. They did agree with the 64 grade on this one. And someone paid $2,085.75. Again, these Denver, San Francisco teens, Buffaloes, they are desirable. If you got one in mid-state, doesn't matter if it's a 61 or 62 or higher, they are desired all across the board, and you will pay dearly for these. And the last Buffalo Nickel, quite a controversial one, okay? It's the 1914 over 3S Buffalo Nickel. Keep in mind, there is a Philadelphia variant of the same overdate that's very prominent in the community today. Now, both overdate types, I believe they were delisted off of the Cherry Picker's Guide. I might be completely wrong, but people are still hunting for these. This one is, it's got the old FS attribution number 014.89 on there. This one grades out 64. Again, it's a really pretty coin. It's got a little bit of kind of like that cabinet toning. It's been sitting in maybe a jewelry box for a little while. This one sold for $2,081.25. The overdate, the 4 over 3, the top bar of the 3 is not as strong as the Philadelphia coin, which is quite insane. I cannot believe they are delisting this, but they don't know if it's truly a 3 or just a die dent or a gouge or what have you. But I would say, me personally, I would love to cherry pick one of these for myself. They're just an incredible variety to find today. All right, now we're on to dimes. We only have a couple, but boy, oh boy, where did this coin come from? Think of it as little green men, a little Martian action here. The color is really cool. It's on one side. PCGS graded this one as a 68 full bands. The price paid for this one is a huge mark to the premium of eye appeal, and that's kind of like where this one is at. $6,468.75. I dare you, I double dog dare you to find another one that's as nice as this because that price tag is insane. We also have 1941D Mercury dime. This is a great example of a coin that some people mistake as clean with all the little tiny hairlines squirreled all over the place. But believe it or not, those are die file lines. Okay, that is an attempt by Mint employees to work down what could have possibly been a very strong die clashing. So they're going to work on those dies, with the oxide cloth and wire wheels and everything else to get rid of that. And this is how it translates onto the finished product. Okay, they are going to have those swirly die file lines. This one right here in a 68 plus full bands is just a monster. $3,487.50 was the sale on this one. 1950D, holy crap. The Toner's Paradise continues on with this one here. 50D, not really a super tough date, but good luck finding one that looks as well. It's a kaleidoscope of color. Good luck finding this kaleidoscope. Mid-State 67 Plus by PCGS. CAC did agree. They put their stamp of approval on there. $2,531.25. And then we also have the 1934. This one is what they call the heavy motto variety. It's got the much thicker letters of In God We Trust on there. You would have to see a number of them side by side showing the light motto, the medium, and the heavy to understand what each one looks like. The light motto is very thin in comparison, but some people have a hard time differentiating the medium and the heavy. So have them side by side, know what they look like. So this one, NGC 67, is what we have here on this one. $1,462.50 for the sale price. Again, there are examples that are in much nicer condition, much nicer grades than this one. We also have 32D. So there were two examples that sold at the same time, both graded by PCGS in a 64 grade. So let's go ahead and talk about the difference of what that little green CAC sticker does to the overall value of a coin. Now, a green CAC sticker just simply means that a independent third-party company, they audited the grade to the coin and they agreed that this one is a 64. This particular one sold for $4,012.89. Of course, let's not forget this is the key date of the series along with the 32S. So the other 64 graded example did not have a cat green sticker and it sold for nearly half the amount of money. All right, so that's the importance of getting that green CAC sticker on there. Again, they are a service that provides that, the same way that PCGS provides a service of grading your coins. So pretty cool to see, kind of like a difference, a comparison of one to the other. If you want to look at the other coin, you could go on the website and look at it for yourself. And then the final one, now we talked about one of these last week. In kind of like what was it, like XF40 VF35, or I forgot the grade. Now we have an 1918 over 7S Standing Liberty Quarter, again the premier overdate, next to the Buffalo Nickel one, and then the 42 over 41 Mercury dime and a few others. AU55 this time. Okay, a much higher, more desirable grade for this particular variety. It's the FS101, as you can see, $16,312.50. So you pay to play once you get into this AU kind of like fringy mid-state type grade. It's what they call like the everyman collector kind of grades, 55, 58. 58 is more of that everyman grade, but 55 is just a great lightly circulated piece. What a beauty. Speaking of beauties, we got the 1964 Proof Candy half dollar. Again, They usually don't get found in proof sets exhibiting this just really insane frost that you see here. And not to mention that you have absolutely no contact marks anywhere on the coin. So, what prevents this one from a 70 grade? Um, you know, I wish I could say it's that simple. I do see a couple little white marks, very pinpoint, microscopic on the coin. Those probably had a little bit to do with actual, like the little white mark next to the 9 of the date is an example of what I'm finding across the coin. So this one right here sold for $2,197.50. I've seen these things go as high as 10 grand. Again, that it has to be that 70. It's 70 or a bust when it comes to, that 5-figure price tag that a lot of people do shell out for this coin. Uh, Holy Ike Dollars Batman. We have a trio of them. First time that we've talked about more than one of these in a single show. 76D Ike Dollar Bicentennial. Now, crazy as it seems, this is the less rare reverse type with the Type 2. It's got the skinnier letters across the back there, which is crazy because I can only imagine what a Type 1 of this coin would sell for. Considering it's a NGC Mid-State 67 Plus, just another wow moment here. $5,000.60. I don't know what the 60 cents is for. Just call it 5 grand, 5 racks for an Ike dollar. And, we're all kind of like grabbing our heads right now. Our jaws probably have hit the floor or our desk, just trying to kind of understand why this one is at that level. But yeah, kind of crazy. Ike dollars? Yeah, there was a lot of value here and a pretty big supportive group for the series. 74S. This is the 40% silver unk in a 69 grade. Not an easy grade to get for a coin that a lot of us believe, it comes very well struck, by the way, because they're collector grade coins. You buy these from the mint in the 3 coin set with the, I lied. These come in the blue boxes or the blue envelopes. So 69 grade here on this one. This one sold for $4,050, and that's, again, another monstrous coin. 74D. Okay, this one, no big secret here. The toning is really what lends to appeal on this one. And that grade, again, another monster in a 67 plus star, again through NGC, $6,750. So you guys understand the baked in value with some of these Ike dollars. Because they're large, they're big, they're like Morgan dollar, exact same size. They just don't have that 90% silver or the classic cachet that comes with it. $6,700, sure. If I found one, that thing would be at the auction today. And then we're going to end things off here on a couple of Silver Eagles, okay? It's been a hot minute since we revisited at the time, and for many years, the scarcest Silver Eagle that you could come across. The 1995 W West Point, the very first one, came in the 10-year anniversary set. Proof 70 Ultra Cameo. There were a couple 69s that did sell. I'll tell you as far as what price level those landed at as well. This one right here in a perfect 70 through NGC happened to grab $12,375. Now, in comparison, there were 2 PCGS graded pieces in a Proof 69 Deep Cameo that also did sell as well. One for, I believe, $2,500 and the other for $2,800 and some change respectively. So there's a pretty big price discrepancy from a 69, which is what we call in the business our safety net. Because you don't want anything beyond a 69 because you're going to be paying a huge hefty price for a raw 95W anyways. But yeah, pretty big. $10,000 worth of discrepancy. Now imagine if this was a PCGS graded piece. We'd be tacking on another $2,500 on top of this one. So $15,000 is not out of the question for this one. Of course, today there is that enhanced reverse 2019S with a little bit lower mintage. That is, again, another hyped collector piece. I remember trying to order it. I swung and missed heavy on it. But you know, for the few of you that did grab it, congratulations, you are enjoying a huge bounty. And then finally, you know, we're going to talk about one of the rarest states in a perfect 70 for a Silver Eagle, and the uncirculated mid-state versions. Okay, these are the what we call the bullion version of the coin. You know, anything from 86 all the way up to the early 2000s, if you're able to get a 70, a mid-state 70 on any of these coins, they are so wildly collectible that people pay just some of the most craziest amounts of cash that you and I, you know, can see. Like this one here, the finest grade, $3,657.38. So what this tells us is that the overall quality is more in the 67, 68 level for a good solid 2 decades. All right. So, you know, as perfect and pretty as these things were out of the tube back 40 years ago, 30 years ago, they are far from it from a grader's point of view. So always know that these things are going to be tough to grade. If you think a Silver Eagle from 94 is perfect to you, take a much closer look, and then, you know, just have a perfect peace of mind knowing that this thing needs to be lights out before you have a chance. So that's it. That's going to do it for this one. Information provided in this video today is for entertainment purposes only, not financial advice. Please do collect and or grade responsibly. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. I will be in Tulsa, Oklahoma at the Northeast Oklahoma Coin Show for the rest of the week. We're going to jam some serious firepower onto YouTube the rest of this week. Live show events going off right from Tulsa. Hope to see you guys on the live streams. Come check me out. Bookmark that June 21st stream on Whatnot and prepare to get rewarded in a big way. We're giving away a lot of great stuff, a lot of prospector items that I'm sure you guys are going to love. All right, I'm out of here. You guys have a wonderful rest of your week. I will see you on the next coin video. So long.